Dead or alive, you're coming with me. He is a police officer that was brutally killed by gangsters. Thereafter, he was reconstructed and became a cyborg police. He is Alex Murphy, known as Robocop.
I am the Markman and today we are going to unbox and review Robocop from Neca. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Then welcome to the Markverse! This is a figure from Neca which is based from the 1987 film with the same name, Robocop. When I first saw the published picture of this figure, I thought this is a 7 or 8-inch figure. Based also on Neca's website, they said this is in the 7-inch scale. But by looking at this figure now up close, I don't think this is in the 7-inch scale. Though he might be 7 inches, but the issue is the ratio of the height to its scale. It does not match. He seems shorter for that scale and his body width also seems small. So let us measure him. So he is just 7 inches. This is what I'm trying to say earlier. Remember, Robocop was played by Peter Weller. He is already 6 feet. So this means Robocop should be more than 6 feet because of the helmet and the metal feet covering that adds inches to his height. So there is already an issue on the ratio of his height and the scale. So I guess Neca should have added at least half an inch to his height to satisfy the 7-inch scaling or its ratio. And of course, his body width is also a problem because he is wearing an armor. So Neca should have added more width so that the size of his chest looks better. Because the size of his chest looks normal if it's without an armor. But since he's wearing one, then the body width should be bigger, which of course should be appropriate to his height. But by looking at the design, if we compare this figure in the film, if that is our only standard, then he looks great. But I noticed that some parts of his body, the chrome has this violet color. We have it on his chest, his sides, so his legs. Also have that on his feet, then shoulder, then even on his back. Initially, I thought this is only a reflection, but if we try to move it, you can see there is no changes on the position of that violet part. So this is how they really made it. But don't get me wrong, I'd like this better. Actually, when I watched the documentary about the Robocop film, I noticed that sometimes this color appears and it's because of the reflection of the things surrounding him. So in other words, it seems that this figure became more realistic. Then let's go to the head. I really love the helmet of Robocop, and this is great. In the eye part, his lips are his lips also has resemblance to the lips of Peter Weller or Alex Murphy. And just a quick note, when Orion Pictures was looking for someone to cast as Robocop, one of the quality that they were looking for is to have a nice lips because that is the only visible human part of Alex Murphy. In the film, you need to unscrew this side to remove the helmet. So very good details. They even put the interface connector. Then the arms. The first thing that I noticed is that he has these gaps between his shoulders and torso. But I understand the purpose is for better shoulder movement. Same thing with his elbow. You can see his right has a trigger finger, thus this part will hold his gun. Then for the left hand, it is just an open palm. For the torso, we have good sculpt. Then the back, then his legs and feet. Nice sculpt as well. Then another memorable feature of Robocop is his holster, which is hidden inside his thigh. You can see we have a switch here. So we need to push this up. Then you can see his holster. Let's put his gun. Okay. But this part seems fragile. So we need to be very careful in handling this part. Now, in order to put this back, let us remove his gun. Then we need to push the front of his legs, so the front part of his thigh. Please be cautioned, do not push the side. I repeat, do not push this side. Push only the front part. So after hearing the click, then that's it. We're good. Then let's go to the feet. Oh, this is neat. They even made this work. So every time he walks, this will slide up and down, supporting his movement. Now let's go to his articulation. Then up, down, then sides. Then for the arms, actually we cannot move his arms sideways, so there is no lateral movement. Then forward, okay, so we can move it forward and back. No bicep swivel, but we have elbow joint. Okay. Then we have forearm movement. But we don't have any wrist movement and also no hand articulation. Then for his torso, so we can move his torso, but not much. Let's try to crunch him. Okay, so no crunching movement. Then for his hips, no hip movement. Then for his legs, okay, so we cannot move his legs to the side. But yeah, okay, so we can move his legs to the front and back. It's just that there's no side movement. Then we have no thigh swivel, but we have leg articulation. I'm sorry, knee articulation. Then we have a little articulation on his ankle, so we can move it up and down, but no side movement. And there is no toe articulation as well. Now, if you remove the helmet of Robocop, you can see his face. So this is the face of Alex Murphy. Well, there is a little resemblance to Peter Weller. And you can even see the bullet scar that was shot by the film's antagonist, Clarence Bodiker, I'm sorry. So they have very good attention to details. Then we have the gun. You saw this earlier. This is a Beretta 93R, or also called as the Auto 9. And this is his primary weapon. It has a long barrel, which means it has stronger penetration. Then the Cobra assault weapon that was used in destroying the Enforcement Droid series, or Ed 209. You know, the big robot that was created by Omnicorp? That's Ed. So we have a sling here. Then we also have a stand, so we can use this. Actually, this is movable. I remember in the film, Robocop put this on his car, the roof of his car, so that he can destroy Ed. But the other part is not movable, only the sling part and this part. We also have the gun burst effect. So there is a hole here. I hope you can notice it. So we can put the muzzle of his Auto 9 here. But I hope they made this a little translucent to make it more realistic. Lastly, the alternate hand that shows his retractable needle interface. This is used to connect Robocop to other machines. It also includes a backdraft that shows a back street alley. So here it is. So nice backdraft. Now let's put the accessories and parts. First, let's remove his head. Okay, so this is quite hard. Okay. Then let's remove his hand, right hand. Let's put this alternate hand with the retractable needle interface. Okay. I do not want to push this part all the way because we might not be able to remove it quickly later. But at least you know it's working. Let's put the original hand back. Okay. Then let's remove the substitute head. Let's put the original head back. Okay, so I heard the click. That's good. Then let's make him hold his gun. Then let's put the burst effect. So again, there's a hole. Then let's just put the string of the Cobra assault weapon on him. So this is great. And since we already measured him earlier, let us just compare him with my other figures. Let's just pose him for the comparison. Okay, now I'm having a hard time letting him stand. First is McFarlane Cyborg. Don't hate me, okay? Don't hate me. Next is CD Toys Iron Man. Actually, they are great together. And lastly, so I'm just going to move Cyborg a little to the side. Same thing with Robocop and Iron Man. And final one is Hasbro's Darth Vader. I wish they made Robocop at least 2-inch taller and then made his weed longer. It should have given the others a good run for their money to be the best toy figure of the year. Nevertheless, Neca became faithful in making sure they followed the design of Robocop in the film. And even there is so much details on him, Neca made it right. The design of this figure is awesome. I also like the chosen accessories, especially his Auto 9 gun, but the burst effect should be a little translucent. For his articulation, I understand that Robocop is a character which is not that agile and has limited joint movement. And Neca is just following how the character was designed. So, if you enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to push that notification button since I publish new videos every week. Again, I am the Markman. Thank you for visiting the Markverse, and always remember to pay it forward with kindness.